Afternoon, everybody. Morning, everybody. Good day to you all. We hope you are. We hope you have a lovely day and all that jazz. Right, heading down to the bees in a field. Heading down to the bees. Not doing any real work on them. I just thought I'd pop down whilst I'm here and have a look, see if I've got any activity going on. Today is Sunday, I believe. I don't know what date it is, but Sunday. Actually, I think it's the 1st of October. So we're going to go down there. We're just going to see what's going on. Friday. Next Friday. I've got a free day. So we're going to come down on Friday next week, or this week, depending on how you look at it. And we're going to actually do some work in them. So we're going to open them up, make sure all the treatments come out of them, and we're going to start checking on what they've got for stores, and probably start filling them up for the winter. That's the plan of attack. How I'm feeding them this year, I'm not too sure. I don't know if I'm just going to buy some syrup or make some syrup. I've never really no idea. It depends on what time I've got. But yeah, really at the moment, what I want to do is just want to see down and see if I've got any activity coming from the hives we've got left. And then the main one will be, like I said, on Friday next week, when we actually get into the hives and see what's going on again. So bear with me a second. I'm almost at the hives. I'm going to go and have a look. I'll be back with you in a minute. All right, bear with. Before I get into bees, I bring you a tree, or what's left of a tree. There was a fire here at some point. I'm not too sure what happened, if I'm honest. But this tree here got completely burnt out, all through the middle. So that's an actually hollow tree. That's going to be an ideal place for a swarm to get into, I reckon. Yeah, not too sure what happened there, but one hollow tree. It does feel like I was only here yesterday with a mower, and already it's getting long again. God, I can't wait until winter. This grass stops growing. Never mind, I still haven't done any of that. The trees are all looking fine though. But yeah, I haven't done any of this grass. Right, where are the bees? Here's the bees. Right, I have clearly got activity coming from 1, 2, so I've definitely got, okay, so we've definitely got the hives, or we've got the 2 sides of the bee house working. I don't know if you can make it out there, my phone's camera's broken a little bit, so there we go. So I've definitely got the 2 hives of the bee house working, which is great news, so they're fine. And I've definitely got this hive here as well, running as well. You can see them flying around. I'm not too sure, oh yeah, I've got a little bit of activity coming out from Abby as well. So yeah, it would appear that we've got all 4 hives at the moment running, which is brilliant news. So what we'll do, like I said, next week what we'll do is we'll come out, or Friday, we're going to come out, we're going to take the treatment out of all of the hives. I want to try and move, I'll zoom out a little bit because you can't even see my finger. So I want to move this hive, the one in the middle, which is a dead out. These 2 hives either side of it, so either side of the blue roof, they need to have their treatment removed and probably fed. And then this one up here, just have their treatment removed. The plan is next season is to get this hive, the bee house, either side of that into a proper hive. But good amount of activity, loads of activity coming down. I wish I was in a suit so I could get a bit closer. I've got a couple of them buzzing around my head at the moment. I don't really want to get too much closer. Fantastic.
Oh, happy days.
So I've got 4 of the hives which look like they're doing all right. From obviously this point, it's difficult to tell. But from where I'm standing, or where I have been standing, I can see 4 of the hives running. Hopefully they're all feeding up. What have we got out at the moment? Ivy, I think, is the main one out at the moment. A lot of ivy out and about. And they're all probably munching on that amazingly well, which is great news. So that's what they're going to be feeding on. I'm pretty sure it's mainly going to be the ivy. Obviously we're not going to take any more honey out of them. At the moment it's now just going to be a case of trying to get them fed up and ready for winter, really, and just see what happens. I've got no real plans for winter. Winter's basically just going to be a case of trying to get these ones through next season. So that's going to be into 2020, what are we in now, 2023, 2024 is the next year. The plan is to, like I said, get the bee house put into 2 new hives, to get the bee house cleaned and ready for swarms. So when swarming season comes, I've already got a hive basically which is built for them. I'm going to need to get some new frames built up for them, but apart from that, there's nothing else I need to do. It just seems like the bee house just seems like a really good way, I think, of just trying to swarm control without swarm controlling. That makes no sense whatsoever. But if a hive gets too big and I've got a space in the bee house, then I'm going to split them into the bee house. If I find a swarm, so if one of mine goes swarm and I've got a space in the bee house, I'm going to chuck them in the bee house. It just seems like a ready-made hive, ready to good to go, and it seems like a nice way of naturally progressing them from the bee house through to an actual hive once they've grown up a little bit more. I think that's how we're going to work the bee house from now on. Main reason I can't be bothered dealing with the supers. The supers for the bee house I just really don't like. The little ones, I think they're pointless. But that's my opinion on the bee house. I'll do a video at some point doing a complete overview of how we've got on with the bee house from start to finish. I'll do that at some point, I don't know when. But yeah. But other than that, I want to try and stick to the national sort of hives, stick to the 14 by 12s, and we are going to start expanding again next year. I've got a lot of work to do in this section of the yard. If I'd thought about it now, I'd probably half the size of what we've got. I don't need it this big. But it is what we got, and we work with what we got. I still want to turn some of this bit into like a growing section. So if I can do something to grow, I don't know, like the sunflowers or the grapes, all that sort of stuff, I still really want to do that, and I've got the space for it. I just need the time. And now I've got the Fridays back, I should hopefully be able to start working that out again. So that's where we're at now. So bees, we're going to expand a little bit next year. I reckon if we can get another 2 or 3 hives next year, I'll be really happy. If I can get the time, I want to start preparing this top section for something. I really want to get the grapes going. But we'll see. But yeah, that's about it. Massive thank yous to everyone that is still watching, sharing, subscribing, all that sort of stuff. Without even realising it, we've gone 812 subscribers now, I think we're at, which is, considering we've done nothing this year, the people are still watching this and enjoying the channel. I'm really happy. I'm really thankful for everybody that is stopping by. But yeah, that's a lot for today. Have yourself an amazing day. You take care of yourself, and we'll see you Friday, if not before. All the best.